Okay, we're going to do a bit of sitting first before we start. Okay, we have the lights mostly off, except for the Buddha's light. It's just a short one. Okay, relax. Be comfortable. Relax. Some of you so tense. You should be upright, but you don't need to be ramrod straight. Just upright, but relax. You should feel your body relaxing, feeling comfortable. Let the world out there stay out there. In our mind, where there are no thoughts, the mind is naturally peaceful. Take a deep breath in. Breathe in slowly. Breathe out slowly. Deep in. Breathe out gently. One more time. Deep in. Breathe out gently. Now you scan your body. Slowly scan the body. If there is any tightness, any stiffness, mindfully, deliberately, you say, relax. You can take a while to do this. You want your body to feel comfortable. As you feel your body, the mind relaxes. As the mind relaxes, you feel good. It's a gentle, soft feeling of good. Very gentle, very peaceful. This very pleasant sensation, peaceful sensation, you wish it for your loved ones. May my loved ones feel this. Feeling good, feeling peaceful. To all your loved ones, you wish them well. May they be peaceful, calm. May they feel this way. There are a lot of people out there who suffer. We wish for them the experience of calm and peace also. May all beings who suffer, may they find peace. May they also experience the calm and the joy that the mind is capable of experiencing. A mind that has no thoughts, it's present and it's aware. This mind is the natural mind. It's just the way things are. May all beings be well. May they all be peaceful. May they all experience this calm. Then you take a mental bow. We're grateful for the Buddha's guidance. We're grateful for the Buddha's Dhamma. A deep bow of profound gratitude. To the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. Now we will slowly ease out of this sitting. Take a deliberate breath to rouse your system. Keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes closed. You stretch your fingers mindfully. Mindfully. So as long as you're mindful, you're still in a meditative state. Feel all the muscles as you stretch your neck muscles, stretch the shoulder muscles. Whatever you do, don't slap the person around you. Micro movements, please. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Alrighty. Good morning. Everybody feeling so nice, huh? Hey, this is not magic, eh? Your mind can do this for you every day. 10 minutes. All you need is 10 minutes. And you're recharged. Your IQ goes up by a few notches. You're peaceful. And while you're peaceful, build good karma. So nice. All right. We're ready? Wow, noble silence. Good job. All right. Can I just, I recognize so many faces, but are there any new people here for the first time? Good job. Welcome. Have fun. You picked the right place to be in at the right time because you're going to have fun. Today is a very unusual little, there are many cushions here. Go lai. I did. Okay. This is the first time we are doing the Samyutta Nikaya. I'll explain a little bit more. It looks like this. And my usual, the intent every time we start on the the talks. Many of you already know this. It's actually Ailing's doing. Every month she will come and hound me for a topic. And then I decided at some point that let's just do the Nikayas and I don't have to think very hard. And so today, it's the first time we're introducing this one. It's called Connected Discourses of the Buddha. Now, in case you are not aware, the Buddha's teachings have been compiled into all these books. These are all books. 5 with the Vinaya, Pitaka. Sutta Pitaka, the middle one, Discourses, has 4 plus 15, depending on which tradition. And then there are Dhamma, which is a different set of story. We have finished the portion in purple. It's what we have finished. We have already finished Anguttara. Okay, you can go online and look for them. Today we're doing Samyutta. Now, just a little bit more. Samyutta, the one that is highlighted, has 56 chapters. If we were to do 1 chapter a month, so the treatment will be a little different. We're not going to do all chapter by chapter by chapter, even though it's really, really worth our time. But no, we cannot. 56 chapters is 4 years. 12, 24, 36, 48. No, I'm just talking about month by month. 12, 24, 36, 48, 54. No, 50, don't know what. No, 60, right? 48, 60. It will take 4.5 years. Okay, 5 years. They're about, because there's some months that I will not be here. Cannot. We're trying to finish this in 1 year. Okay, all these 56, we're trying to finish it in 1 year. Okay, anyhow, as you see number 5, Khuddaka Nikaya, that's the 5th. It's called minor collection, but it's not very minor. It is, depending on which country, which tradition, 15 in books for Sri Lanka and Thailand, and 18 for Myanmar. Myanmar just have more books. Okay, now all these don't mean a lot unless you are a scholar or you're very keen on the Dhamma. Very, very keen. Fascinating details. As I'm going to show you today, very fascinating details when you go deep into any of these. The word Samyutta actually means connected. Grouped together, connected together. And why like this? Because the themes, when you're looking at the themes in Samyutta Nikaya, they are in categories, different themes, okay? Slightly less than half of the themes, chapters in other words, slightly less than half, 46%, are on doctrines. So for any of you, and this is not simple, the doctrines tackled at a deep level. So you're very keen on the Dhamma. Samyutta, you cannot miss. Each one has a certain So causation, dependent origination, 1 chapter. Elements, 1 chapter. Aggregates, 1 chapter. And it goes on. All of them, chapter by chapter by chapter by chapter. 46%. So if you are very keen on the Dhamma, you really want to know what the Buddha taught, and you want to learn, it's not the difficult one. The more profound suttas, guidance are in another set, Majjhima. This one is not the most difficult. It's relatively easier to follow, and the suttas are shorter. So if you're very keen on the Dhamma, go get yourself that book. It's this thick. So you don't carry it around. I have it both in hard copy and e-copy. I carry the e-copy around everywhere. Okay? So it's worth getting it from a wisdom publication and have it into your phone. So when you are feeling like having Dhamma for the day, just pull out your phone and pull out the book. Because it's hard to carry it along everywhere with you. It's so thick. Okay, now, 27% it's on specific people. So the Pasenadi gets a whole chapter by himself. Mara gets a chapter. Okay, Mara is not exactly specific person, but it's a personality, okay? And King Saka has a chapter. And Kassapa, and Rahula, and so on and so forth. They are the more familiar ones to the obscure ones. Even for obscure Vangas, Lakana, they are monks, in case you're wondering. And they also get chapters, okay? 40% on classes of beings. Now, because it's captured in Samyutta, not the minor Nikayas, this is Samyutta. All the suttas in Samyutta, authentic, or most, if not all, authentic, okay? Which means you have the Buddha talking about interactions with all these other beings. From the Devas, Devaputta, the son of Devas, meaning the early, they are young Devas, like teenagers Devas, okay? Cloud Devas, the Brahmas, the Yakas, Nagas, Supanas, Gandhabas, they are terrestrial beings. Beings here, terrestrial, the earth, but they are semi-divine, supernatural beings, which you can't see. The human, the regular human, I presume most of us are regular humans, do not have that capacity to perceive these beings, but there are people whose eyes can register a wider light range, and they can see these beings. And finally, 9% on types of people. I'm using Bhante Bhikkhu Bodhi's definition. So I'm just using his terms. He did all the calculations. And you know Bhante? He's spot on. Very thorough. So types of people means the different social category. The woman, the monks, the nuns, Brahmins, headmen, and so on. Okay? And one more, they didn't know what to say, just call them others. Like miscellaneous. Woods is forest, similes, okay? Right, today we're doing chapter 1. And chapter 1, book 1, there are 5 books. All the 56 chapters are into 5 books. First book, book 1, is on verses. So when you go into the Samyutta Nikaya and you go the book 1, book 1 has, I think, 11 or 12 chapters. You will find that all of them has verses, and they're not easy to read. If you don't want to go for these, you just go for the people one. Because the Pasenadi, the Rahula, the people, they're much easier to read, easier to comprehend, okay? So, today, first chapter, book 1 is on Devas. Devas, the whole chapter is on the gods, the divine beings, okay? Devas, celestial beings, but in the Buddhist context, according to the Buddha, they are not immortals. They don't exist forever in a singular identity. They are there because of their meritorious deeds in the past. But when those deeds burn out, when the merits burn out, they will be reborn into whatever world that their karma takes them. Most of them, in the time of the Buddha, most of them didn't realize that they fade. They didn't know, because they lived so long. Look, King Saka of the Buddha's time, the King Saka that we know in our text, is still around. It's the same King Saka. And he's got a long way to go still. This world will burn out before he moves on. Okay? So they live so long, they don't realize that they fade. So it came as a shock to them that the Buddha said, you're not permanent either. You will rise, and when your merits are still there, you remain. Then when the merits run out, you move on. And you move on based on whatever merits come about. So for many of them, and there are suttas that say this, for some of them, they can go from there in the Dewa realm, bounce into the lower realms, bypassing the human realms. It's not a gradual progression. I slowly make my way up, then when I get demotion, I slowly come down. It doesn't work like that. It depends on the merits. So when the merits, and because you live so long, you don't realize, right? You don't realize. And after a while, you can become a little complacent. So that's the reason why things can go wrong. They become dewas, they enjoy themselves, they enjoy so much. And then when the time comes for the transition, because they enjoy so much, don't have a lot of opportunities for merits, they can then bounce off and fall into the lower realms, okay? You see, while elevated, blissful, and luminous, these are Bhante Bhikkhu Bodhi's words. They are as much in bondage to delusions and desires, so they have the same problems as human, except that they are in a better position to satisfy their desires. Think of Dewas as super trillionaires. Trillionaires. It's not exactly they have a bank account anywhere, but they're like trillionaires. They can get anything they want. They can create, manifest anything that they want. We can't. We have to go and exchange our labor for whatever you want, right? Or make somebody else do the job and exchange his or her labor for whatever you want, okay? They don't have to. They just get it. And when just think of yourself, all of you, just think of yourself. We live in comfortable, safe, happy Singapore. Happiness is individually defined, but happy Singapore, right? Not so happy can come for the happy workout, but you know what I mean. Okay, we can do that. And do we get complacent? You are only lowly human. We are only lowly human and we get complacent. Imagine if you were dewas. Now, you are not the complacent ones. You are here. You are not the complacent ones. But you know, for every one of you here, there's an entire set of families not here. Whole entire sets of friends not here. Many of them, they are enjoying their Sunday, right? They are enjoying their Sundays and we are here. We are also enjoying, of course, but they don't know, ma. They don't know. No, so my point is, we are only humans and we already get complacent. Our life is short. Did you know how long is a dewa's day? Did you know? Depending on what realm you're in, the lowest realm, the lowest of the Dewa realms, is your 50 years. I think it's 50 years for a day. Your 50 years is their one day. Yeah, they're still having breakfast. We already lived half our life, okay? And in the next level is 100 years for a day. It's double. Then as you go up, it gets compounded. It's compounded interest. It's just 50, then 100, then, I don't know, 200, then 400, then 800. It's compounded interest. The interest is very good. Better than CPF. Okay? So you just imagine the Brahma who came before the Buddha in the Buddha's time. I think he's just finished his afternoon nap. Okay? They lived that long. And this one, no, I say, it actually came from a sutta in the Majjhima Nikaya, where the Buddha gave a tabulation of the years they live. Okay? Forever and ever. So can you imagine, you who live 100 years get complacent. They who live eons, how not to be complacent? How not to be? So you all beware, okay? When you make your way to whatever Dewa realms you will go, depending on your karma, right? Whatever realms that you go, you may fall into this category of the complacent ones. Okay, just be careful. That's why you need to learn the Dhamma as much as you can. Then when you get to wherever, you still know you're impermanent. All right. And this sutta, this chapter, chapter 1 and chapter 2, both chapters will show you that these Dewas, they will come in large numbers to visit the Buddha in the early hours of our time, of India time. Not Singapore time. Early hours, like it always says, when everything is dark, probably, I don't know, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., that kind. And that's when they will come. In large numbers. Often in large numbers. Mostly, they come to learn. Or they went to learn. Mostly. So they ask questions. They were even asking for instructions on how to practice. These two sutta, Mangala and Parabhava, I'm sure you all know at least Mangala Sutta. These two suttas, they came and asked the Buddha to mediate. They say we all cannot agree. So Mangala Sutta, right? We cannot agree on the definition of blessings, Buddha. We have all kinds of arguments. Tell us what you think. And afterwards, I'm going to show you one sample of another them asking the Buddha to arbitrate. Okay. So they came and they asked him, and then he gave them the answers, and they went off, okay, this is the definitive answer. This is the model answer, the 10-year series model answer. Okay. And very cute. When you go through the suttas, you find, now, it's not easy to go through because it's in verses. But one of the suttas, there's quite a few suttas which I was chuckling when I read through. This sutta, SN 1.20, 1.20, it's called Samadhi, named after Samidhi, named after the monk. And it was a sutta where the Dewas asked him to please pass a question to the Buddha. Then the monk said, you can ask him yourself, the monk said. And he said, I'm very junior, I cannot. He's always surrounded by the big guys. I can't get near. It's like us, right? If the Prime Minister is in the room, we all have to sit outside. Right? No, at our level, maybe we sit downstairs. So this poor fella, this poor Dewa, he's minor, and he couldn't get near the Buddha. He said, it isn't easy for us to approach the Blessed One because he's surrounded by other Dewas of great influence, the big guys. If you could approach him, ask him, then we'll come along to hear the Dhamma, he said. And in the sutta, it went on. It's very cute. The Buddha knew the question didn't come from the monk. And the Buddha said, I'm going to answer, is the Dewa here? You laugh. I'm telling you, it's a very fascinating exchange in there. Okay, just go for this one, 120. Okay, many of them, they just came and praised him. I kid you not. They just sit there and talk about how great he is. And he's just sitting there. Okay? And sometimes they have answers. They give their own answers. And they ask the Buddha, Tiobo. And the Buddha says, Tio. And then this line will come out. The teacher has approved of me. Meaning that he's very happy. Okay? Now, the point that I want to make is this. I wanted to dispel. Have you all heard of this line, this point that be a human, come back, be a human? Because in the human realm you can practice, in the Dewa realms you don't. Have you all heard of this? Yes. Not true, huh? I'm telling you it's not true, huh? There's only one realm you cannot practice, which is the realm where there is a mind, but the mind is asleep. That's very high up. That one you can live from many world orders. But that's the only one, because you're asleep. The mind is empty. It's not aware. But everyone else you can. Even the Brahmas can. So, do not be afraid to go for a divine rebirth. The only thing that you can't really do as a Dewa is to make merits. Then you say, why? Okay, let me ask you this. A lot of you are comfortable. Okay, imagine that you are 100 times more comfortable. You're so rich. Remember the trillionaires? They are trillionaires, okay? Then you're trillionaires. Then you live in the trillionaire compound, right? Your territory or trillionaires. You want to go do dana to who? Who needs your dana, huh? Because in your space, in that world, they don't need each other. They all self-service one. Like you want pancake, right? No need call Grab. Go do work so that you can pay Grab to get pancake, right? They can just do it like that. So in that world, not a lot of opportunity to do dana, to do service. You tell me they will do what service? Volunteer service, how? Hospice for dewas. I mean, how? They don't have the opportunities, right? Because you're living in a trillionaire world. Then some of you, the smarter ones among you, or the more cheeky one will say, can come to human world. You can see dewa. They're around to help you, but can you see them? You can't. I mean, yes, they can manifest themselves for you, but how you may die in the process, right? So shock. They come here to help, then they help you move on. That's not terribly useful, right? So, in most times, they cannot. And you will read in many suttas. There are many of these, they're cute little suttas here and there. They come down. King Saka wants to do dana for Mahakassapa. It's a Buddhist Arahant, one of the top Arahants. He wants to do dana. He had to pretend to be a poor man. He manifested as a human living in some obscure villages so that Mahakassapa will accept his dana. Then he picah lobang. You know, right? He picah lobang. Why? Because he offered dana to King Saka. King Saka offered dana as a human. Mahakassapa took one look at the food and went, "Piak you." And the guy said, "How you know? In this village, who can provide curry of this quality? Michelin star in an obscure village somewhere." Because he wanted to give the best. Unfortunately, picah lobang. If he just put some $3 or something, he would get away with it. But Mahakassapa told him, cannot. Nevertheless, you get your merits. Oh, he was so happy. King Saka was so happy. So there are all these stories, very cute stories. They will come and they try and help out the Arahants, and only the Arahants can see them, right? So you get to Arahant first, then you can see them. Right? Otherwise, very hard, eh? They want to help you, also cannot. Don't know how to help you. Like, and then you blur, cannot see a thing. Well, anyhow, the point is that they can learn. That's why they went to the Buddha. And then the people who are telling these strange stories are very cute. Did they not say that the Buddha went up to Tawatimsa to teach? If dewas cannot learn, then why Buddha go up there and teach? Abhidhamma. Abhidhamma. But anyhow. Okay, so this is the good news. There is only one sutta in the whole chapter 1 of naughty dewas. Okay? Dewa got naughty ones. Not all are fans of the Buddha. This lot not fans. And look at the title. It's 1.35 Fault Finders. The name of the sutta tells you it's cute. Okay? They came to cause trouble. They all came in floating, they tell you in the sutta, floating in mid-air, meaning show off. So come in, floating in the mid-air, don't want to pay respect, and accuse the Buddha of being a hypocrite. This is said in verse, even though I write it in text, but it was in verse. If one shows oneself in one way, while actually being otherwise, what one enjoys is obtained by theft. Like the gains of a cheating gambler. How rude is that, right? This is what they say the Buddha. You're not who you say you are. You take whatever you enjoy, obtained by theft. How rude is that, right? Okay, this bunch came. If you go into the suttas, then you have the Buddha explaining some things to them, and then they were impressed. So when they were impressed, then they came down. Then I told you they were floating, right? Then they came down, and then they bow. A transgression overcame us, Venerable Sir, being so foolish, so stupid. We imagined we could assail the Blessed One. Let the Blessed One pardon us, and it goes on. Then the Buddha did something which upset them all over again. Buddha smiled. Then they got upset. Then they go back. You don't pardon us, huh? You don't pardon us. You see, if one does not grant pardon to those who confess transgression, angry at heart, meaning him, intent on hate, one strongly harbors enmity. Not easy to read, unless your Angmo quite good. But I think all of you are okay, so can read this. It's not difficult. They got upset all over again. Okay, the long and short of it is, the Buddha basically made the point, you all don't think too much. Basically, he was saying, don't think too much. The Buddha himself, he doesn't perceive the transgression. He himself doesn't perceive. So, okay, you are no faults. Okay? So this is just a quick summary of some of the interactions. But like all the suttas that we go through under these categories of Nikayas, we will go into some of the suttas. So I pick a few relatively easy to follow. Only 4. Now that we have taken so much time talking. Devas know. Okay, in this sutta they don't know. They don't have this. You know how we talk about the first, second, and third noble truths? First, second, and third noble truths. When there is dukkha, because of our strong attachments and cravings, dukkha. If you can relax that craving, you experience peace. Okay, that's broadly it. So the Devas, they came at Savatthi, standing to one side, they came, recited this phrase. One who has sons delights in sons. One with cattle delights in cattle. Acquisitions truly are a man's delight. Without acquisitions, one does not delight. So a Deva is like a human. It's exactly like a human. They also have attachments. They also want to accumulate. So can you imagine the Devas mansion? The celestial mansion, how big it must be. If humans can have so many desires and pack away so many desires, imagine the Devas. And the Blessed One says, one who has sons sorrows over sons. One with cattle sorrows over cattle. Acquisitions are immense sorrows. Without acquisition, one does not have sorrows. One does not sorrow. Okay. They have no choice. They have to say sadhu. Like, we are human. Until you get it, you don't get it, right? And fortunately, in this room, many of you already got it. Many of you will see the Buddha's guidance and you go, yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. You know what it means, right? Whatever that you have attachment to, there in that is sorrow. Whatever that we are attached to. So then what's the takeaway for us? They don't want no. Cannot. Don't want also you're attached to the one. Also cannot. Like if you're very attached to ideas, then there is attachment. Okay. Then what should we do? Just accept. And in your mind, you must know, I am only using this because it's there. And I train myself not to be attached to the thing. You train yourself. Meaning you can use, you can enjoy, you can have your coffee latte, okay, or cappuccino, or matcha, whatever. You can have that. But when you have it, do not be so fixated. Don't be obsessive about whatever it is. You know you have, okay, for those of you with children, family members, loved ones, you know that's where our attachment is. We will tell ourselves, we will teach ourselves, we will remind ourselves, this relationship is temporary. However much we are attached, that relationship is temporary. It will be over. So when you tell your mind again and again, the truth, this is the truth. The truth so morbid. Yeah, but it's still the truth. If you tell yourself that, then when the time comes, the inevitable happens. You will not cry, no, you will not wail and lament and beat your breast. Okay, you will not whine and be dramatic. You will be sad. But there is a sense of acceptance in that sadness. And that acceptance is what will save your sanity and keep you going. Okay? Alrighty, that's one. See, that was a quick one. This is the one where they asked the Buddha for model answer. Okay? And once he was staying at 𝑠𝑎𝑣𝑜𝑢𝑟, okay, this is 𝐿𝑒𝑗etawana. Then, see, when the night had advanced, it's late. And a number of them, they came with their friends. They're all from Satulapa Host. I have no idea. I don't know where the address is, okay? Stunning beauty. They are of stunning beauty. No, they are all beautiful. No SK2 there. They're just beautiful. And bright. No need to pace yourself with this and that. They're just bright. Illuminating the entire 𝐿𝑒𝑗etawana. How many of you have been to 𝐿e𝑗etawana? Big, right? It's a huge place. It's Bukit Timah Hill. Maybe not as big. I mean, not the entire hill. But it's big. And the whole place is lighted up. They are that bright, okay? And they went to the Buddha and they stood on one side. When they stand on one side, it means they respect him. They don't respect him, they'll stand in the air. And they came down and they stood to one side and they said to him this, okay? Memorize this phrase, huh? One should associate only with the good. With the good, one should foster intimacy. Having learnt the true Dhamma of the good, one becomes better, never worse. The first 3 lines are repeated subsequently. The first 3 lines. Associate only with the good, because when you are in the company of a good person, you will learn the true Dhamma. So they connect the good with true Dhamma. This is the connection. Huh? If you call yourself the good, you must at least know Dhamma. Otherwise, you don't fall into the category of the Buddha's the good. Or at least not the Deva's version of the good. Okay? One becomes better, never worse. Okay? Then 5 other Devas offered their views. The first one went, this is the last line that changes. Wisdom is gained, but not from another. What does it mean? Wisdom is gained, but not from another. What does it mean? So you learned, you get it right, you yourself will know the answer. Okay? Wisdom is gained, but not from another. The wisdom you grow from within by yourself, through your own understanding, your own insight. Quite good, right? Another one says, one does not sorrow in the midst of sorrow. Tio Bo? Also Tio, ah? Okay? So if you understand the Dhamma, you should not sorrow. Let me put it this way. In a regular day, on a daily basis, if you are in agitation and you have sorrow, right? Normal day. At that point, when you have agitation and sorrow, you have forgotten the Dhamma. Okay? That's what it means. When the Dhamma resides in your mind, at that point you will feel better. If for whatever reason you forgot, the Dhamma didn't come in, everyone else did, but not Dhamma. Okay? Dhamma got left out. At that point, you will get upset, you can sorrow. Do you understand? So it doesn't mean you don't understand. It means at that point you were not mindful. That is why mindfulness and wisdom must come together for you to be in a perpetual state of calm and peace and joy. At any time you forget, at any time your mindfulness of the Dhamma dissipates, at that time, the sorrow, the anger, the agitation, the whatever dukkha will happen. At any time when you are mindful of the Dhamma, at any time, you will naturally experience the joy, the peace, the calm. Okay? So Dhamma equals calm, peace, joy. I repeat, it doesn't mean you don't understand. You do. You cannot go for so many retreats, listen to so many talk, practice with effort and still don't understand. You do understand. But at that point, when your mindfulness is not there, the wisdom is not there. Wisdom is not there, mindfulness is not there, dukkha is there. You take your pick. You want dukkha or you want Dhamma? The two of them will say to each other, 河水不犯井水. Okay? My Mandarin not so bad. I'll practice. But you know what I mean? You just remember this. So in your daily life, you get upset. You big take. Okay? Big take also then not connect with Dhamma. Then you say, my Dhamma how? My Dhamma how? Dhamma just left the room. Like that, Lord? Okay, you must remember this. So one does not sorrow in the midst of sorrow. Very good, right? So earlier on, and now, oh, very good. How does the Buddha beat all this? One shines amidst one's relation. So, okay, this one, okay lah. Can. Beings fare on to a good destination. So as you understand, you associate the fellow, you understand the Dhamma, you should continue to a good destination. Okay, it will happen. This one, good destination, is not about MRT. This is really you live, you die, you are reborn. Okay, you will be fine. Please, you must understand. You are Buddhists. Buddhists understand karma. If you understand karma and you make right choices, how can you go wrong? You must have that faith and conviction. I understand the Dhamma. I live my life clean. How can it ever go wrong? It goes wrong because you think you go wrong. Because you hold yourself to a high standard, the Buddha standard. Must be pure in mind, pure in conduct. Then you go and put A+ as your, to pass, you must have A+. Then like that, how? To pass is to get C. Can already, okay? C for can already. You go and ask for A+. Which exam is like that, No, I'm telling you, because I talk to many people, and I sit with many before they move on, right? And my very rudimentary field study says that the gooder you are, the stricter you are. The more you call yourself a Buddhist, the more you want to comply, you want to practice properly. And you say, I can do better, Right? You do this Singaporean style, can do better. Hey, please, don't bring your childhood memory into your life, okay? Can do better. Go back with 90. What happened to the other 10 marks, all right? Don't do that to yourself, okay? Okay. Then, the really good people will be the ones who say to me, sister, I don't know if I had done enough. And I then fall off the chair. Because in my mind, you've done so well. Yeah, but I sometimes lose temper. Yeah. I get impatient. I get annoyed. But I don't self-flagellate. I will just note the annoyance and let it be lah. You know what I'm saying? This arises because we have habits. And you're fine. Focus more on the good that you have done, the joy that you have brought to people. Can you focus on that? The joy. So you want to focus your mind on joy around you. That because you were there, you managed to tilt that tension in the room. You tilt it to something lighter and joyous. You must remember this one. Okay? And then if you got to grin like a fool, then grin like a fool. Because the fool has paradise, you see. No, I'm saying all these things because you want to be assured. Right? You want to be assured. Like, I made one mistake. I didn't check. I made a mistake. Then how? Then a mistake lah. Let go. It'll be fine. Okay, the fifth one came, and beings abide comfortably. In other words, when you know the Dhamma, actually they are all you. If you know the Dhamma, this is your life. If you, any moment when the Dhamma is present in your mind, when the Dhamma is there, you have wisdom. You do not sorrow. You have no sorrow. You're happy. Okay, let's just flip it to positive. You have wisdom, you are happy, and you shine. In other words, this number 3 means wherever you go, people will look at you and want to associate with you. They want to connect with you. So if you walk into a room and then the room scatter, right? It's not necessarily a good thing, okay? You walk into a room, then that people come, they come this way. Not so bad. You shine. They can see you, okay? You will be reborn in a happier realm. And in this life, you are happy. You're joyous. You're comfortable. I ask you, when you are happy, do you feel comfortable? Now, I mean, you're sitting on the floor, so difficult, you know. But you're okay, because you're happy. So all these are the Deva saying that if you understand the Dhamma, you should experience all these. And then they ask him, which one has spoken well? They wanted the Buddha. Hey, we all got 5 views, 6 views, right? 5 plus 1, 6 views. Buddha, which one Chun? Which one Chun? You all have spoken well, the Buddha said. So, Otio, if the Buddha said, 4 correct, 1 wrong, then we know that something is wrong there. But he said, you all have spoken well, in a way. That means this is not model answer. This is a B plus, A minus answer, okay? For those of you who only understand Singapore exam system, okay? This is what the Buddha said. Okay, the first 3 lines, one should associate only with the good. With the good, one should foster intimacy. Having learnt the true Dhamma of the good, one is released from all dukkha. All the 5, in other words, all the 5 are correct. Because if you have wisdom, you have no dukkha, ma? You do not sorrow when the Dhamma is there. So no dukkha. Shining amidst one's creation, well, also not dukkha. Good rebirth, abide happily. All no dukkha. All of them don't know dukkha. And the Buddha said, okay, I sum it up for you all. Summary. The so what, okay? His so what is you're released from dukkha. And they all paid homage and they disappeared. Okay, that's the second sutta. Third one. You all want this, huh? Take a picture already? Done? Okay. This is great. I really love this one because I think we all find something useful here. The Devas came. Giving what does one give strength? Giving what does one give beauty? Giving what does one give ease? Giving what does one give sight? Who is the giver of all? Being asked, please explain to me. The Buddha's reply, giving food gives strength. That's why we offer food dana. Okay? Giving clothes, one gives beauty. Okay, this year's Katina, more useful than SK2. By the way, I don't use SK2, just saying. Giving a vehicle, one gives... Okay, giving a vehicle... Now, this is not Singapore COE system, huh? It's ancient India. Ancient India, no COE. They give bullock cart. Giving a vehicle, one gives ease. Giving a lamp, one gives sight. Now, for those of you living in comfortable, well-lit Singapore, you don't understand this last line. Because we have never experienced true darkness. For those of us, and here there will be many of us here have lived through Singapore which had national blackout. It was a long time ago, hasn't happened in a long time. So all these young ones who stare blankly, there was a time, a long time ago, I think 1970s, I think, or maybe 1970s. If you don't nod so happily, then everybody will know how old we are, right? All Malaysians, oh, sorry. Hey, Eileen, you don't like this, shout so loudly, so shy. Okay. Anyhow, when the world goes dark, when there is no light, it is really dark. You can't see, okay, in front of you. So in that kind of a space, someone brings in a lamp. That's the significance. It illuminates the whole room. Suddenly you know what's there. Okay, so you need to go and lock yourself in this tiny room, close on the door, stuff out all the lights, then you go and see what it feels like. Okay? And that's when you can really appreciate what this means. This lamp is, of course, the real lamp, but it's also the spiritual lamp. We are trapped in the darkness of life. Without the Dhamma, for those of you who begin to understand deeply, at whatever levels that you begin to understand the Dhamma, I ask you, would you trade this understanding for all the wealth in the world? Would you? Hey, you must be more enthusiastic, lah. The rest of them looking at you, leh. No, I'm serious. Would you? I tell you, for those of you who attended retreats with me, you know, I came into the Dhamma because of my own episode in life. Okay? And then an episode way back, 30 years back. Would I trade what I know to not have that episode, that period? I won't. I won't trade because that episode prompted me to go onto the Dhamma, on this Dhamma journey. If it were not for that, I wouldn't have been on this Dhamma journey. I would be servicing some community somewhere. Would I trade that for the dukkha that you have to go through in order to get here? I won't. Because nothing beats that awareness, the understanding, the insight, the joy that comes, and the ability to then be able to regulate your mind. And having that confidence, you know how to self-regulate your mind. through these lives and through future lives when they come about. That's what it means by having that Dhamma understanding. When you have that Dhamma understanding, you know how to treat yourself. Treat this guy. You know how to treat it. You know how to turn every moment. You slide into problems because events happen out there. The mind can turn. It can slide. It can get upset. It can get angry. It can lose control. But you know how to change gear. You know how to steer the mind back where it will be okay. You know how to do it. And you have the confidence you can do it. So to give a lamp, to give sight, it's a spiritual sight, the spiritual lamp. Okay? The one who gives a residence is the giver of all, but the one who teaches the Dhamma is the giver of the deathless. The deathless. 维系 死不了 just doesn't sound right. The deathless is the mind, the awakened mind. Okay, I'll give you a sample of it, a taste of it. In your daily life, we go on autopilot, correct? You kind of flip all over the place, chit-chat, chit-chat, chit-chat. You kind of fly all over the place. Correct, huh? No, some are not convinced, leh. I'm just checking to, you all know what I mean, right? Now, when you go on autopilot, all the previous successive episodes, can you remember? So you go from one object to the next object, to the next object, to the next object. Do you remember the objects? You don't. You don't remember. They all died. They are all dead. You live life like you are dead. That's in the Dhammapada verse. What does it mean? It means that you live life and yet you didn't live the life. You live in a mind-made world. That is not life. That is just mind-made world. And it flips and it flips and it flips and you registered nothing. You didn't experience life. But when there is that mindfulness, that clarity, in that state, you suddenly become aware of life. So in a state of deathless, you are mindful. You are in the present, here and now, perpetually. In that state, you are in the deathless. Out of the state, you are like dead. Buddha's words. Because you have been dying. We, not you, not just you. We have been dying. For as long as you are physically alive, we have been dying. So many deaths already. From the morning to now, already so many deaths. Moan, so many deaths. Actually, we didn't moan, we're very happy. It's like scuttling around like the bumblebee. So, in a state of clear mindfulness, clarity of the mind, in that state, you are alive. You're aware of life. Okay? And the fourth one. This one, I'm using the word karma very loosely. It's actually vipaka. Okay? I'm using it loosely because if I use too chim a word, nobody understands. So, just a few fellas. So, karma. The consequences of stinginess, in other words. This one came from a deva. Those who are stingy here in the world, niggardly, folk, revilers, people who create obstacles for others engaged in giving alms. So the first part is about yourself, then you go and prevent people from giving alms. What kind of result do they reap? What kind of future destiny? We've come to ask the Blessed One this. How are we to understand? The Buddha's reply, those who are stingy here in the world, negative folk, revilers, people who create obstacles for others engaged in giving alms, they might be reborn in hell, in the animal realm or Yamas world. If they come back to the human state, they are born in a poor family where clothes, food, pleasures, and sport are obtained only with difficulty. Whatever the fools may expect from others, even that they do not obtain. This is the result in this very life, and in the future, a bad destination. This came from the Buddha. If this were the only sutta, then like that, one sutta. But this idea that stinginess can get you a very bad demotion, it came from in different books, different Nikayas. They have it everywhere. Buddha will use the same, not identical words, but similar words. The two outcomes. Either reborn in a lower state, or if reborn as a human, very difficult life, very hard life. Okay? Okay, this one I don't need to explain. Read for yourself, DIY. So some suttas are very easy like this, and there are the suttas which are a little bit harder to understand. Okay? Okay, moving on. Today is a short class. Questions? You can have an earlier lunch.
Sister, so your definition of stinginess, I mean, on the surface it seems like it's materialistic. Is there a broader definition and understanding of withholding something?
Oh, that's a very good one. Actually, it's a state of mind. It's not the act of giving per se. It is also a state of mind. So there are two things that we need to look out for. And I would tell people this. Train yourself. If you find that there is a resistance up here to giving, I'm not going for just stingy. Stingy very low bar. For you guys, we go for the China Express train type, okay? Go higher. Don't go for block cut version. Because you're not stingy. I know that. I look around, I scan. I think you're okay. Okay? Scan. Right? You're all very okay. There's not an issue here. We're talking about generosity. Okay? The diametrical opposite of generosity. It's a state of mind. A mind which tells yourself. So if you find yourself having the unpleasant sensation, every time you want to give, there's an unpleasant sensation that arises. It means that tinge of stinginess is in. Okay, this is how you identify, am I in the state or not? Every time you are asked, can you offer something or you want to do something, help someone, anytime your mind resists, you will have a sensation, unpleasant sensation. Okay, it's natural. When you have an unpleasant sensation, stinginess is in. Okay? Then what should it be? It should be pleasant sensation. The more pleasant, the better. The rejoicing is important. I'm not asking you to go and pong pee pee. No need to go and tell the world. Put into your Facebook or your Instagram, wherever. Today I gave. Someone put in the money. Okay? No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying in your mind, you have helped, you have given, you have supported. You must feel happy. Must. Not happy, can or not? Cannot. Must feel happy because that's when you max out. Then if you feel happy for another person giving, very good. Anumodana, very good. But you didn't give anything. You just feel happy. You take a chunk of the joy, like, ooh, happy for you. Okay? And then that's good enough. That one also got merits. Then I sit at the counter downstairs and people come give donation. I just stand there and anumodana. You know how rich they are? Do you know how all those people in the office going anumodana, anumodana? Every anumodana they get a cut. They are like the agent, the Buddhist agent. They all get a cut, right? I make this light-hearted so you will remember and you laugh about it. Okay. But it's true, you must rejoice for others also. So when we hold in memoriam services, when we offer dana, and then you just stand there, you didn't bring anything because you didn't know. Then you see people offering, you just rejoice. Don't stand down there and say, nobody tell us. Okay? Nobody asks you to feel that way, okay? You're not supposed to feel that way. You just stand down there and you rejoice. Then you get a cut, the Asian cut, okay? The rejoiceless cut, okay? And that's how you multiply the positive energy of a space. Why do you think you go for a retreat and everyone come out so happy? Positive energy multiplied, compounded. That's what it means. Okay? So the mind has to feel the joy. When the joy is missing, you know something is off. This is when you do what I used to do. 1 10 cent, you don't feel like giving, give 20 cents. 20 cents, you don't feel like giving, give 40 cents. Okay? Compound it. Force yourself to don't. Initially, when you start, you may be a bit tight-fisted. A bit. This one is specifically material. Then you just do. Don't think. But dana is not just money. Dana is every time you are doing something for another, at your own expense is dana. So if, for instance, I don't want to praise you, because I'm in the bad mood, I don't feel like praising you, you praise. Because your word is going to help someone else, make someone so happy. Your word can be very life-transforming. Your dana in money may not be as life-transforming as the words and the kindness that you show. Someone, I never hug people. But they need a hug, you hug. But I don't hug people. Next life, when you want a hug, the hugs will come. Better hug now. Okay? Smile. Don't feel like smiling, you smile. Because it's not for you only. It's for others. See? The Devas agree. Which Deva is that? Huh? You just do it. When you don't feel like doing it, you just do. Don't think so much. Sometimes when you start thinking, you will find your mind recoiling from the generosity. Then you say, why leh? The more you think, the more you recoil. You have to force yourself not to do it, not to be tight-fisted. Do you know why? I tell you a magic, a secret. Our mind, unfortunately, sits on lobha, dosa, moha. Okay? That is the basic battery. It's your ever ready battery. Your mind has that habit. So how does lobha, dosa, moha manifest? So your mind is just like that, right? Nothing is happening. Then it manifests. How? When the thought arises, the speech comes, the action happens. This is the one. The thought arises. So, if you think a lot, your lobha also a lot. If you think a lot, lobha, dosa, a lot. It's natural. You look at how your mind works. Okay, I want you all to think. I want you all to become aware. Every time your mind starts talking, not something you want to eat, it's something you want to buy. Not something you want to buy, someone you want to scold. Just look at how your mind works. So the mind has a tendency to chase after something. It manifests by the chasing after something. You look at the object that you chase after, that's the object that you obsess over. So if you're a foodie, you'll be checking your Michelin star restaurant compilation whole day. If you're into whatever, that's what you will go into. And that's what you will think about. That's what will arise in the mind. Okay? So for those of you who say, oh, then I have Dhamma arising all the time. Very good. Dhamma's your obsession. But you know, when you cross the street, you must leave the raft behind. Okay? You're not laughing. You know that expression, right? The Buddha says, after you cross the stream, do not carry the Dhamma raft around. Okay? All right? Yes. Any other question? Yes, please. The grab mic is here.
So I have these questions about as human. So it's saying that they all got complacent, right? And they all got complacent because their lives so good. That's why sometimes easier to practice as human being. So they will die, and they have two choices. One is to keep reborn as human being, and the other is to go into the Dewa realms. What do you think could be a better choices?
This one is a personal choice. It's like asking which boy or girl should I marry, right? It's a personal choice. I can offer you some way of thinking about this issue. It's a frame, okay? We know in the suttas, okay, they're not going by the suttas, we know that they have Dewa Buddhist community up there. Okay, we know that. Because there was a sutta where the Buddha said, when you all sit amongst, when the Dewas, you were reborn a Dewa, and you have, you want to learn the Dhamma well, you want to consolidate the Dhamma learning, you want to consolidate it well, because in the next rebirth, if you're reborn as a Dewa, for instance, these are the opportunities that will happen for you. One, you play. Okay, Buddha doesn't say it like that, but you know my idea. Right? You have had wonderful time. Then suddenly, something happens, and for that one moment, there is that, I have to stop. I need to practice. Because you already consolidated, it can happen. Or it could be that you sit among friends, and they talk Dhamma, and suddenly it hits you, yeah, I remember this Dhamma. So the memory comes back. Or it could be that in your excursions, you come across a forest monk somewhere, a teacher somewhere, then this sounds interesting, got a lot of people there listening, I also go follow. And then you go and you learn from a human. It's all in the sutta, by the way. So, and then you go and then you learn and then you got it, right? So when you consolidate, that can happen. Different occasions can trigger a memory and you're back into the practice. Why am I using this story to explain? To make the point that as a Dewa, you can still learn. You can still go on YouTube, listen. Okay? You can do anything. So the practice means what? So that's the next question. Practice means going against your natural bad habits and overcoming those bad habits slowly. Now, what is this bad habits that we have? Loba, dosa, moha. Loba, dose, and I don't know moha's what. Moha. Just in case you don't understand Pali, right? Loba is greed. Dosa is ill will, hatred, anger. And moha, no prawn. Moha is delusions, ignorance. The delusion comes with ignorance, foolishness, okay? And those are our natural instincts. These are the reasons, these instincts are the reason why we suffer. Okay? You didn't suffer because someone out there is out to get you. You suffer because those habits are in our mind. So every time you want something, you will suffer. There will be suffering. There will be agitation. Okay. If you are not enlightened, if the Dhamma hasn't kind of taken root, let's talk about enlightenment. It means the Dhamma taking root firmly in your mind. The Dhamma hasn't taken root firmly in your mind. Human or Dewa, you will suffer. But once it has taken root in the mind, and you know what you're supposed to do to try and pacify all those negative habits, whether as a human or as a Dewa, you can do that. Okay? Then, what should we choose then? What should we choose? You want a fast track or a slow track? But you must know, you come back as a human, without the Dhamma, you can be jalat-jalat. Okay? See, let's just give it a shot. But if you want to come, for whatever reason, you fancy yourself to be a teacher, a Dhamma speaker. You want to do your part to protect this Dhamma. As a Dewa, you can only influence up there. There's a whole lot of beings down here because no one can go up to the Dewa realm. This is membership only. You don't meet the credit criteria, you are not getting past the door. Think of it like SIA, business class or first class lounge, right? You don't meet that criteria, you cannot go in there. You can carry the ticket, you cannot go in there. Okay? But the one that is economy class for all is human realm. Yeah, you are economy class, okay? Not budget airline yet. This economy. Still got plane to fly you, okay? And here, everybody can be there. Upstairs, downstairs, except for the animal realm. Even betas can be here. The animal realm and the hell realms, they can't be here. Animal can, but they don't understand. I mean, you bring a puppy here, it's okay. BF will say, no, but I'm okay. Okay? But in this human realm, you have a better job, you can do a better job protecting this Dhamma. And as a Dewas, less opportunity. Okay? So that's your, do you want to be a teacher? If it's not your intent, if you're not going to go all out to protect this Dhamma, then take a credit. Be reborn in the Dewa realm. You protect the Dhamma in a different way. Okay, you protect it in a different way. And they are still doing it, by the way. I tell you a personal story. Not something happened to me. Happened to others, okay? I asked 2 monks, both very good monks, both founding monks. They are monks who found organizations in places where there is no Dhamma. They are married 𝐏𝐏𝐿𝐿. This is the 𝐏𝐏𝐿 version, okay? So I sat there and I asked these 2 monks. Both of them were there. And I said, Bantes, both Theravadian traditions or Bantes, do you believe in this phrase, the Dhamma protects its own? It's a phrase. I heard it before. I was just wondering about it. So I asked these 2 monks. Both of them say yes. I said, you got personal examples? One of them narrowly escaped a bullet. Bullet that went this way and that way. He literally missed, the bullet missed him by inches. Nothing happened. Clearly nothing happened because I was still talking to him. Right? And if you go to his center, you will see that bullet still embedded in the wall, in the window, the window sill. Still there. And he said, this one, relic already, this one, heritage. And the other one was given a piece of land. That is desert land. And today, this desert land has sprouted meditation center, has a home for the old, the aged, schools. Where did the money come from? They are really practicing monks. They got no money. Money came from all over. Money found its way to him. Money found its way to him. to build a Buddhist center up in the middle of nowhere. Okay? So, and he said, it's the Dewa's work. He only expressed an intention, and then the Dewas, all the Grab Dewas will come and deliver the rest. I heard this story online once. No, I was attending a Zoom talk by a monk who told this cute story. And if any of you remember hearing a story like this, you can come and correct the facts. Because this is a story as I recall the facts. About this practicing monk in the middle of nowhere in Thailand suddenly thought of eating pizza. And a Mercedes-Benz came along and delivered pizza. Have you? Right? And Pepsi Cola or Coca-Cola. Yeah. In the middle of nowhere on the forest floors, forest jungle road in Thailand, a Mercedes-Benz came to deliver a pizza, a slice of pizza and Coca-Cola. How weird is that, right? Please, do not say you don't believe in the Dewas, okay? They don't mean it, right? But seriously, and I always say this, I said, okay, I've said this before, I said, look, you guys, suppose, let's say, not suppose, when you make it to your elevation, okay? When you are Dewas, when you are, terrestrial, celestial, don't care, you are, okay? Get a badge scan ready, okay? How did you get there? By your own hard work, through your understanding of the Dhamma. Will you protect the Dhamma? Now you can, you will do it. So that's why they are doing it. All these Dewas who were Buddhists, most of them would have known the Buddha himself. In his time, they were there. They could go tell each other, you remember that one? Oh, that episode, I remember that one. They will be there, they will be telling each other war stories like that. Okay? And that's why they are still protecting the Dhamma. They are protecting they are doing their bit to keep the Dhamma alive. So we thank them for that. Okay? Any other question? Today you can ask question. We got time.
I want to ask about generosity and the joy of giving. So must it be unconditional? Because I myself find myself being selective over my giving. Of course, I feel a lot of joy giving for causes that I am aligned with, and I feel judgmental for others, a certain kind. So how should we see this?
No, I understand. Resources are limited. Like time, energy, money, resources are all limited. And we want to send the resources to where we think is most needed. So exercising discrimination is natural. Okay? It is natural. I'm not saying you're wrong. I acknowledge it is natural. What the Buddha was teaching is to have generosity as a natural state of mind. So a natural state of mind, generosity at a natural level, actually has no discrimination. Actually has no discrimination. It's non-discriminatory. Okay? And that balance for you, you must exercise some judgment. As I said, resources are limited. You must exercise some judgment. The balance is for the individual to decide. It is not wrong to exercise judgment and discrimination. Having said that, the ideal that the Buddha talks about is there is no discrimination. That is the ideal. At what point you get to that point is the individual. Okay? It's the individual's choice. You want to take a note. So let me flip it around and make it something useful. Every time you notice the resistance in the mind, the unpleasant sensation arises. Every time you notice that, you must recognize that sensation. It means there is a holding. And you look at that sensation and you ask yourself, this sensation, don't look at the person you're giving to. Don't look at how much you're giving, because we tend to go that way. When you feel resistant, you start to ask yourself, how much should I give? Maybe I can give an amount I'm more comfortable with. Or maybe I can give a bit of time. Your mind will work like this. It will go into the amount. It will go into who. Who are we giving it to? Don't go there. Instead, you look at the sensation of unpleasant. Okay? You look at that sensation of unpleasant, you see it fade. It will rise, it will fade. As long as you don't tampa in new thoughts, it will fade. The sensation will fade. So you observe the sensation fading away, then you give. Don't give while you're still resisting. You wait for that sensation to fade, then you take out. Whatever you take out, you just give. Don't see. You want a method, ma? I give you a method lah. Don't see, and above all, don't judge. Don't judge. Okay. I know someone who is very kind. It's a lovely fella. And every time this person walks past this guy selling tissue paper, this person will buy. And sometimes just put the money and move on, right? Very nice. Until the person saw the tissue paper seller smoking. And then in the mind arises, give you money to burn, is it? Then when the story was recounted to me, my response was, smoking only ma. Give less ah. Don't judge. Give ready, don't judge. The give less is a joke, huh? I said, don't judge. You have done good. You must rejoice in the good. Whatever the person does, let it go. You remember this story like a million years ago? NKF, remember? You see all the older ones, right? It became such a ruckus, remember? The NKF story. For the young ones, rejoice that you were not there, okay? They were so successful raising funds, everybody was angry because the funds were abused. And then I had people going, I gave them so much money, you know, now you get angry. You get angry, you diminished. The earlier one's done already. You already scored already. But now that you are angry, then you go around and tell people, don't give them, and then you fall into that category. Preventing another from giving. You see that? So sometimes you don't feel comfortable. You watch the sensation, the vedana, the feeling. You see the feeling fade, that's when you give. Feeling doesn't fade, you tell yourself, the stinginess is there. It's holding so tight. And you just relax the mind, watch the rising, falling. Okay? Watch it, watch the sensation fading, and then you give. Okay? But having said that, please, got scammers also. Don't give scammers, okay? Don't give scammers. But I don't know if they're scammers. Then you don't know, don't give lah. You don't know yet, ma? Limited resources. Okay? I hope that helps.
3 questions from online.
Oh, yes, please. Oh, you were sitting there, I didn't realize.
No, I was sitting there.
I thought you were there, yeah.
Came to get the mic. If there is no self, the future self is just a continuation of process from cause and effect of my current action and not really me, and I should not really identify with. Why does a good rebirth matter?
Choose a bad one, no? I mean, what kind of a question? That is a very odd question. Would you prefer a bad one? Why would it matter? Why would it matter? We take it as a philosophical question. Why would it matter? I thought it's pretty self-explanatory, because we want to choose conditions that will help us to grow, and not conditions that you will end up having to tackle and overcome. And then by the time you're finished tackling them and overcoming them, you're dead. There comes another birth. And it's like one life wasted. Haven't done nothing. So that's one issue. You choose a good rebirth so that the conditions are conducive for you to grow. They are at least conducive for you to focus on the things that matter instead of just trying to stay alive. Imagine if your life is not like this. That you spend your day not knowing whether your family will come back to you. Because, and not knowing whether you'll wake up tomorrow because the roof can land on you tonight. The pounding that happens around you, any of this pounding could end your day, your life. Imagine that. You know, we take a lot of things for granted. What we are experiencing here in Singapore, what we here in this room are experiencing, are conditions that 99% of people in the world do not experience. 99%, you know. So we are literally the top 0.something%. Because you have safety as a matter of fact. Security, you have some money in the banks. We don't worry that much about the old age. You're worrying not about survival in old age. You're worrying about whether or not you can continue your lifestyle in old age. That's not the same, huh? Okay? It is not the same. We are not worrying that we cannot put food on the table. We are worrying whether or not we can continue to have Wagyu beef on the table. They're not the vegetarian, top-notch organic cabbage on the table. This kind of problem, I still remember people saying to me, oh, this is a first world problem. Yeah, which tuition center to go to, which enrichment classes to bring our kids. Our dog, cannot have the best of the don't know what meat. We should be ashamed of ourselves. Because life is that good. I mean, we are the ones who can think about, char kway teow, which way? Which one to go to? Parking, a bit difficult. Right? That's not a problem. And because we are like that, we can ask this question. Why do we want a good rebirth? It's because we are not living through hell. It's because we're not living through hell. Having the understanding of non-self and rebirth life, they are two separate matters. Most of us are not there with the non-self anyway. Agree? You're not there. Right? Don't you want to have conditions that can help you to get there? To a state of enlightenment? Yeah. Yeah, lor. Yeah. So this is something to bear in mind. When you are there, when your mind suddenly awakens to the fact that there is no self. The fact that there is no self. When your mind is awakened, then you can choose your rebirth. Okay? Oh, by the way, you must have enough merits in order to choose your rebirth destination. You must have enough merits, okay? Which means, think of it like that. You all remember going to different schools? Yes. The higher your score, yes, the more options you have. Okay? When your scores are so kilat, you can choose anyone you want. If your score is so jalat, you cannot choose, right? Wherever the MOE send you, you go. 对不对? So, merits, punya, merits are kilat. Okay? No merits are jalat. I'm serious. There is actually, there are suttas where the Buddha talks about how one with a lot of merits can decide. There's a parade of vehicles, chariots from the different heavens waiting for him to make a pick. Make a choice. So there's Maserati and Ferrari. That's all. No, if you're into cars. If you're not into cars, you've got all kinds of chariots. Then you say, why chariots, huh? Because that's in their mind eye. That's their idea. If you're Mahayana Buddhist, the lotus will come. Okay? Because you're Mahayana Buddhist. They will send you the right vehicle, don't worry. Don't worry about that. You'll be the correct vehicle. Okay? Like, you can choose the wrong one, choose the right, a flying carpet, salah already. Salah already. Not Arabian Night, or salah already, okay? Alright.
Next question. Is it true that a woman cannot be Saka, Brahma, Sama, Sambuddha, as stated in Anguttara Nikaya 1.279 to 283? If yes, what is the reason?
Hey, you're asking me like I know that. It cannot lah, must be fair, you know. I'm not Saka. I cannot. Okay, so contextual first. In ancient India, it's very much a patriarchal society, patriarch, okay, man-dominated society. In a society that is very male-dominated, I think, this is my hypothesis, I believe it's because that society experiences a lot of warfare, a lot of conflict. Men are useful only when there's conflict. You need someone to go and fight and push back, right? To heave stone and throw it. The superior strength helps, okay? Then in a society where they need to have more negotiation, more social networking, more chippy together, right? The woman does a better job at that, lah, okay? No, this is not being discriminatory. This is just the types of people playing according to their strength. Because when the woman come together, they will chap, right? Talk. You've seen the guys coming together, football. I don't know. There are not a lot of things they talk about. I have the image of them grunting at each other. Grunting at each other, right? Okay. Okay. So because it's a patriarchal society, everything that they talk about is about how men should run the place, how men should do the job. But actually, Devas, especially Brahmas for sure, there's no gender. The Devas, if you look at the sutta, sometimes you can't tell whether they are male or female. Okay? And Brahman, no gender. They even look alike. If you go by the guidance there, they're just light, beautiful light. There's no gender. I mean, what's a gender for? But we know that spontaneously reborn beings don't go by procreation. So if there is no need for procreation, they don't need gender. Do you understand? So minimally, I can tell you that this gender idea is very much rooted in the cultural expectations, social norms of the day. But the reality is these Devas, I think they can choose whatever they want. The Devas. But the Brahmas got no gender. Okay? And so when you have them recording, they will record in their image. Whoever is recording will record it in their image. And it was all the Sangha, the monks, who recorded. There's no mention in the text of the presence of a woman. Right? There's no mention anywhere that the women were involved in compiling the Nikayas and the suttas. Okay?
Last online question.
Okay, I think we... any more questions?
Last one.
Uh,
If I give out of fear of going to hell, is it more transactional? Is my state of mind is driven not by generosity?
Okay. It's a fair question. When you gift, and the Buddha said, no gift goes wasted. No gifts goes wasted. As long as there is a giving, it's already meritorious, okay? But the degree of merit, there is a certain gradation. I have written a book, a booklet on chaga. You can find it online. Type my name, type the book. This is book, it will appear, okay? On generosity. So based on the research done, I will tell you this. There's a certain gradation. And the gradation is based on the state of mind. The more joyous, why does joy count? Actually, that's a question you should ask. What's so significant about joy? I'm happy. So why does it matter? The presence of joy is the absence of greed. That's the reason. The more joyous you feel, the more it is void of anything impure. As long as you have an agenda, the joy is muted. Do you understand? So if you're giving, but you have a reason to give, here, everyone look at me, I'm giving. You have an agenda, your joy is not strong. Okay? But when you give with absolutely no expectations, zilch expectation, the mind is at its purest. Right? When the mind is pure, the joy arises naturally. That is why when you feel metta and you feel care and genuine affection for anyone, for the world, the joy is very strong. Because at that point, your mind is void of self-interest, totally void. So the joy, the more joyous you feel, the purer was that mind. The mind is very pure. So you stand there and you rejoice in another's gift. But I didn't give. No, your mind is void of self-interest. I feel very happy for you. And so that joy is very powerful. Okay? And that's the one that makes the difference. How pure was your mind when you were giving? So your question is, if I give with fear of going to hell, my fear is that I might end up in a bad place if I don't give. It's okay. Better than nothing. At least you feel relieved you're not going to hell. Like, I bought myself a get out of jail free card. It's okay. But we take it to the next level, which is just give, because you change your narrative. You can give. You can give. And that means someone before you did a good job. I'm telling you, that you can give is not you doing a good job. It's someone else before did such a great job that now you have plenty and you can share. So you give so that the next one who comes along has things to share. You keep everything for yourself, the next one has nothing. So I sometimes tease people and I say, we should save for this life and save for the future lives. So when you give, you're actually saving for future lives. 不是我讲的, the Buddha actually said that merits is critical for future comfort, future opportunities, future social connections. Even social connections sits on your giving. So the Chinese and the 借一个人缘 借缘. It's true, you know. You 借 many yuan, you go around and 借缘. Okay? 借 plenty yuan. Fusion, English Chinese fusion. Okay? And when you do that, you rejoice in this life, you rejoice in future lives. Okay? Done? No question on side? Okay, good.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.